Welcome, everybody, to Disney with the Ducks. We're so glad that you're with us today, and we are on episode 113. That's right, everyone, episode 113. And with me tonight, I'm Jody, by the way, I have some wonderful friends with me. I've got my good friend, Lonnie G.
Konnichiwa.
I've got my other good friend, Mean Jean.
Bonjour.
And this evening, we've got a special guest with us. Everybody welcome Sarah to the show.
Hello.
Thanks for being here, Sarah. We just want to remind everyone, if you haven't had the opportunity, we would absolutely love if you could go give us 5-star review on your podcaster of choice. That would really help us out. Join our Facebook group. We have some fun conversations going on there right now. We had some fun pictures of Lonnie for his birthday a couple of days ago. So join our group, get in on the fun, and we'd love to have you part of our community. So as we do with every show, we like to start off with a get to know you question. And tonight's question is, what emoji do you use most often? All right. Jean, I see you smiling. What emoji do you use most often?
Well, so I'm trying to actually look and see what this is, what this emoji actually is, because I can't see it. But that's not the top one. My number one is this, person with their face over their hand over their face.
How do you explain that? Because we're an audio podcast, that's great when you just do it. So.
Right. So the person, the dude with his hand over his face, and that's when like, oh my, I did something dumb or something like that. The next one is the fire emoji because somebody else send me something, and I just send it's fire, because I'm basically a Gen Zer. And the next one is the mad emoji with it showing all the teeth, and then the check mark because the kids say the thumbs up is basically passive aggressive, so I send the check mark instead. And yeah, the one I was trying to figure out, it looks like it's a folded map of the world, and I don't know why that is. It shows like top 15. I don't know if that's. It's like,
You
I don't know.
literally used every meme that there is.
Well, someone had to use the role of John.
John's
tonight,
not here, right?
So yeah. Jean perfected that role. So thank you, Jean.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I look forward to getting the series of emojis from you sometime soon. So, All right, Lonnie G, which emoji? Now, you're known for memes more often.
Yeah, I don't do the emojis a lot. I'm called the Great Meme King. So I do the memes.
But if you would do an emoji, what would it be?
It'll probably be the crying, laughing face at my own meme.
All right, the crying, laughing face one. All right, Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah was pretty simple. I was gonna say like the laughing face one, or if not, like the shoulder or like the
shrug.
Shrug, I don't know one.
Yeah. I also use the crying, laughing face one a lot. Typically laughing at myself, like, oh my gosh, what an idiot I am. So yeah, that's the one that I use most often. Try to use that more than the sad face because we don't need to be sad. All right. Okay. Well, I look forward to getting a series of texts from all of you with all your favorite emojis. That will be delightful. So speaking of things that were delightful and things that make me smile, 2 people on this call were recently down at Disney World running the springtime surprise race. So Lonnie, you were there and you participated in which races?
I did the challenge. So the 5K, 10K, and the 10 miler.
Okay. So all 3 races, and those were Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And Sarah, you were also at springtime surprise race weekend. And what races did you participate?
Same.
5K, 10K, and 10 miler. And as we have mentioned in a previous show, this is the only race weekend that has a 10 miler as opposed to a half marathon. And this one is also at Walt Disney World, not the Disneyland races, which some of us also participated in. Before we go any further, I just want to congratulate the 2 of you because you both, by completing this race, earned your Coast to Coast medals. Is that correct?
Yes, we did.
That is fabulous. So for those who are not familiar, this year was the return to racing in Disneyland. I think you heard our reviews of that race series. And if you did an East Coast race and a West Coast race in a certain period of time, you were eligible for a Coast to Coast medal. So they both got it, which is awesome. Big deal. All right. So let's talk about your race weekend. The races started on Friday, so the expo was on Thursday. So Sarah, we'll start with you since you're the guest of honor. When did you fly in?
So I left Kansas City about 7 p.m. on Wednesday and landed in Orlando about 10:15
Okay.
on Wednesday night.
And where did you stay for this trip?
So I stayed at the All Star Sports.
All Star Sports. Awesome. And did you just Uber over or Lyft, or did you have a car or?
So I took Mirrors, which I've used in the past, and it's been like fine. This time, not so much.
Oh, let's hear.
So,
Spill the tea.
yeah. So again, we landed at like 10:15, got luggage. Did not get into my room until after 1 a.m. So
Wait. Hold on. You landed at 10:15 in Orlando,
Mm-hmm.
and you didn't get into your room until 1. I'm not great at knowing the exact distance in miles from the airport to Walt Disney World, but I don't think it should take that long.
Did you have to go to Tampa to get your luggage or something?
I mean, you would think, right?
What happened?
So yeah, and there was a huge line, but I checked in and we waited for over an hour for any bus to come, like any bus. The line was like all the way down and started going. I don't know if anybody's done Mirrors, but it was like all the way down the hall and then started to turn and go farther down. So waited over an hour. Then we got on the bus and we're on the bus for like 20-ish minutes, and they were swapping people in and out off the buses. Then we had to go pick people up from the Terminal C. And then we finally left to go towards All-Star. They filled the whole bus with All-Star people. Luckily, All-Star Sports was the first stop, but it seemed very excessive.
Okay, so not a wonderful positive start to the trip. I'm so sorry. That's not great. Okay, Lonnie G, what about you? When did you fly in?
I flew in on Thursday as well. Landed.
Not as well. Sarah just said she flew in Wednesday night.
I mean, he got to his resort on Thursday as well.
That's true. Sarah got there, I guess, technically a Thursday. So, okay, you flew in Thursday morning.
Like I said, I flew in on Thursday as well. Got in. Thanks, Sarah, for the save. So anyway, yeah, I stayed at Fort Wilderness Lodge in Copper Creek.
Okay.
In the BBC room.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. And how was did you make it in less than 3 hours to your resort?
Well, I always say time is money. As soon as you hit the airport in Orlando, you're on Disney time. So yeah, I catch an Uber, came out, jumped in the first Uber that came. I was at the park, literally I carried on. I think from the plane to the Uber there, less than 45 minutes. I was at the resort.
All right. So Thursday is Expo Day, Jean's favorite day because that's where all the merch is. Jean, you want to ask?
That is where the Spirit jerseys are. So tell me about the Spirit jerseys were they exciting? Did you buy any or what other merch did you guys partake of?
Sarah?
I didn't get to the expo until like 4:45, and so then by the time
all the Spirit jerseys
there was
right?
no merch left, so I don't have a lot of exciting merch to share.
Was that by design? Did you? Okay.
I wasn't really wanting to get a lot of merch anyway, so I decided I'd spend some time at the park in the morning, and then then I got there later. I think I got there at 4:45-ish. Had picked up my bib. There was four photo stops like right by the bibs. Through all of those, was in the expo building by 5:40. So it was great.
and did you weren't with Lonnie for any part of the expo, right? Lonnie did that. You did that separately.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because if you're with Lonnie, it would have taken you a lot longer because he takes every picture of everything with everything while you're there.
I did too. It was just there was no crowds. It was fantastic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's doing a lot of passive aggressiveness on this podcast already. But so I have had a paradigm shift in regards to merch. So the only thing I wanted was the magnets. So now I only do the magnets. I have all these shirts, things of that nature. So I don't really get that stuff anymore. So I called a friend and said, hey, you're going to be one of the first people in there I know because she always is. I said, can you just get me a weekend magnet and an I Did It magnet? And she said, yeah, I got you. So literally I got there, went in, got my bib. They had some great character stops there. They had Stitch was there. They had Hook and Smee there, right? He was there, and they had a statue of Simba that was there. So went and took a picture with Stitch, and went over and just grabbed my shirts and then headed on out.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's good stuff.
So everything goes smoothly there. No chaos where the bag pickup and all that.
And picking up the shirts and everything went smooth. It was no problem at all. Just it's a different mindset when you're not buying anything merch-wise, right? So I just I already knew I had my magnets that I wanted. So when everybody was running in, I just was like, boom.
And I have to tell you, so I bought 2 things in Disneyland, which I kind of regret now because I bought them before we ran the races. And
no regrets, not even.
Well, hold on,
no regrets.
But I will tell you that they've got a funky smell to them. It's like the press that they use to put the logo on the shirts. And I've washed them plenty of times in different things too. And they like it's got like a chemically smell to them, like the press of the nylon. What is that called?
Like Funky Cold Medina smell?
Like Funky Cold Medina, just like that. Yep, exactly. So I don't know that I'm going to be buying any more clothes either. So I like, Landon likes the pins, so I buy pins.
Welcome to my world. I just hang out at the expo waiting on Lonnie. You like this? Sure, yeah, that's nice. What about this? Well, you're not gonna get anything? I'm like, I got some race shirts. What else do I need? Spirit jerseys, that's it.
Okay, so Sarah, you had mentioned that you were at the parks all day. Where were you on Thursday?
So I went to Magic Kingdom earlier than I would like. I was on a second floor room at like 7:30 on Wednesday morning. It sounded like the people above me were moving furniture for 5 minutes.
Oh.
I'm not sure how that happens because there's really not furniture to move at All Stars.
Yeah, it's for the USA.
You can hear the people upstairs right now. I don't know if you can't hear them, but they're upstairs right now moving stuff.
Well, maybe they were the cheerleaders or something were there and they were practicing their moves, so clearing out the furniture. I don't know. I'm making all that up.
So there's literally like 2 chairs you can move. So I don't know what they were doing. Anyway, I was like, well, I'm up. I'm not going back to sleep. I wish I got more sleep. But so I decided to go to Magic Kingdom, and I got there just a little bit before 9, which is when they opened. But again, I wasn't planning to be there that early, but I was up. I wasn't going back to sleep. So I got on like Buzz and Haunted Mansion and Pirates and Big Thunder all within an hour. So that was nice.
Nice. Good way to start the day. It's a good way to start the day.
No lines. And then I just kind of chilled. Did like People Mover. That's a relaxing one. As long as
going up the ramp of People Mover is the best thing on race weekend. I just wish I could do it over and over and over again because it's the best calf stretch ever. Yeah, it's my favorite. I don't need to go on the People Mover. I just need to go back in our line, just keep going on that ramp.
No, Jody, I agree with you on that, but you got to get on People Mover.
I like People Mover. I love it. I ride it every time, but I need the calf stretch too. So
you just need to stop while you're on there.
For the record, Gene, you've rode on People Mover.
Oh, for sure. I have.
You might not remember, but you have.
But you know what I haven't done? Because I have a list. Just saying.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff I haven't done. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, he started a list. It's great. So, Sarah, did you have any fun eats that day? Did you eat at the Magic Kingdom, or did you go any place for some good meals, or did you just snack around?
I didn't really have any sit down ones because I was going in. It was a solo trip, so I didn't make any reservations anywhere. But I did have for the first time the fruit waffle sandwich, I think is what it's called, from Sleepy Hollow. And I grabbed that and then went. There was a cavalcade coming by right when I mobile ordered that because the line was ridiculously long. Was ready right away. Grabbed that. Went. There's like a little cutout area between Liberty Square and like the hub area on the bridge, and went, and there was like places to sit over in the shade over there. And the cavalcade came by and there was like hardly anybody else there. So that was nice. I was like, well, that's a bonus. I love live entertainment. Love watching the kids But there's a little kid next to me, love watching their reaction to entertainment. I was like, I could watch that over and over and over again because they're just so fun to see their reactions. First time they see stuff.
That is fun.
But
Lonnie,
yeah,
oh, sorry. Lonnie,
I
where
was
were you that day?
Go ahead, Lonnie.
Wait, I'm sorry. Say that again.
Where were you that day? So you were at the expo for a bit, but where else?
Thursday I didn't go to a park at all, actually. So, I take that back. No, I'm gonna have to edit that out. Animal Kingdom. So Thursday I actually went over to Animal Kingdom, walked around a little bit. It was a beautiful day, hot. It was warm, and the Animal Kingdom already has an extra couple of degrees in it, right? So went over and rode Dinosaur before they change it.
Oh, Gene, are you so sad you missed that?
I'm so sad. You don't even know.
So rode Dinosaur, got out of Dinosaur. Literally, it was basically a walk on. So walked on Dinosaur, and Everest was a walk on as well. Then walked on the Everest, came out, was going to ride Flight of Passage, but it was a 90-minute wait, and I don't wait 90 minutes for.
Yeah, no.
It's not. So I just kind of strolled around the park a lot, and then headed to the room to get ready for the next day.
The important question: did you get anything good to eat that day?
What did I eat? Oh, you know what? No, I ate back at the resort. Because I just was like, I'm going to relax. I had an early flight. I flew out of LaGuardia as well, so I got up at about 1 to get to the airport and to head on down. So I just like, you know what? I'm kind of tired. I'm going to relax.
Got it. All right. So Sarah, did you stay out to the wee hours of the morning? Race the next day? Did you close down the park?
Yeah, no. I went after the expo. I went back and got ready. I will say I did learn something. I always love when cast members tell you like fun facts or whatever. So I was staying in line for popcorn, and before the Festival of Fantasy Parade, they have like the Grand Marshal that comes through, and they play a song, which I've always just associated with Disney. I didn't realize it was anything else. And she said, "Did you know that's a Jonas Brothers song?" And I was like, "Really?" Yeah. So I looked it up. It's "Fly with Me" by Jonas Brothers. It's just the like instrumental of that. I was like, who would have thought that would be what they'd use to use?
I would have never known.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Use that meme, the more you know.
Lonnie likes that meme.
Yeah. But I will tell you one thing, though. Going and staying in Copper Creek, fireworks. You will hear Magic Kingdom fireworks like they're in your room. Just putting that out there. So as much as he said, I'm going to bed, 9:49, I know 8:49, 8:40, something like that, boom. And then for the next 10 minutes, it was booming. It didn't bother me, but I just want the listeners to know that if you're going to stay that close to Magic Kingdom, which is cool, just know you're going to hear it as well.
Yeah. Did you hear the electrical water pageant show?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Which is, and like, look, when if you're not having to go to bed really early, that's the best part of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, literally, that you could just get on your balcony and look at it, or go. A lot of people go stand down by the pier and watch the fireworks. You have a great view from there as well, right on the water. So, Gene, what body of water is that?
I think it's a Crescent City Lakes, but Crescent Lakes. But you set me up to fail. See, that's wrong. I knew it wasn't.
I paid back your passive aggressiveness.
I thought that's not right. But Lonnie would never set me up to fail. But apparently I was wrong. Apparently I was wrong.
Oh,
yeah. So if you're going to stand by the pier, you can watch the fireworks.
All right, let's get this train back on track. Okay, so you all went to bed early. You needed to go to bed early because the next day on Friday, April 19th, right? Sure. That was the 5K day. And what was the theme for the 5K?
Neverland 5K.
Neverland 5K. So what time did each of you get on your mode of transportation to head to the races? Sarah, I'm guessing yours was a bus.
Yeah, so I got on the bus, the first bus at 2:50, and it left at 2:52 a.m.
Okay. And Lonnie, Oh, you're not on the monorail, so you took a bus too, right?
Yes, but I took the second bus, which was around 3:15. So yeah, just hopped on that one.
Got it. And no problem. Bus drivers knew where they were going.
No problem at all. Got straight there and
That's
got off the
good.
bus. Of course, it is a pretty good walk to get to the staging area, and got to the staging area, and boom, there you go. Sarah
Awesome.
came up, and we took our lizard picture and went to the corrals. Luckily, in this one, we're in the same corral for all three races. So it was a challenge bib. It was just a single solo bib. So you're in that corral for every race, which was pretty good.
Oh. So the 5K was included in the challenge?
Yes. So for the
Oh.
springtime, it's
Oh.
to make the complete 19 whatever miles to get your coast to coast. You have the 5Ks included, 5K, the 10K, and the 10 miles.
I didn't know that. That's
Mhm.
pretty cool.
This is my third year during springtime, and the challenge has always been all three.
All
Oh,
three.
so that's different than Wine and Dine and Princess. You have
It
to.
is.
Oh, that's really cool. I did not know that. See, I learned
Mhm.
something new too tonight. That's awesome. Okay, so 5K. What was the highlights? Tell me best part about it. I heard it was hot that day.
It was hot every day. But Sarah, I'm gonna turn it over to you. What do you think about the 5K?
I would say, I mean, it was hot and humid, but again, I've done this the past 2 years, and I don't think this weekend was as humid in the mornings. It wasn't pleasant. Don't get me wrong; it was not pleasant. There's been other years in the past, literally just standing in the corrals, you're like, feel like you just jumped in a pool, like just waiting to start. But I didn't feel that this year. It was not pleasant. So don't get me wrong there. It was not pleasant, but I do feel like it was better. I mean, I think there was more going back than I remembered, but I feel like we were running and we didn't feel like we saw very many characters when we were running. I feel like I went back and looked and other people saw more, so I don't know how we missed them, Lonnie. I only remember like 3 or 4 character stops, and they were all like over 30-minute waits, and we're like, yeah, no.
Yeah, I think we made a comment that we said, there's not a lot of characters, right? So I don't know where these people get these other characters from either. But one highlight of it, a lot of Tinkerbells, a lot of hooks. Uh, you know, they had some different. Literally, people went for all three races. I think they had a lot of costumes for these races, and I think the race announcers did a phenomenal job as well. But to Sarah's point, even though it was warmer and they kept telling you hydrate, 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 it's going to be bad out there. Once we cleared the front, and the cool thing is we hit the divider, so we grabbed the tape. So we had the tape for this one, which was pretty cool. So when we start off, we had said, well, we're gonna go out slow, but no, we're at the front, so we can't go out slow. It's like we got to just roll. And since we started out front, I think we had a nice little breeze, so it made it where it wasn't as hot because we weren't in the midst of everybody, right? So which was pretty good.
Yeah, I guess you didn't have to worry about throwing your Mylar blankets this time to.
Man, if you had a Mylar blanket, you're a glutton for punishment.
I did hear somebody say they were like cold, and I'm like, you don't know what cold is before I run Disney race, then. I don't know.
I don't know. Because usually I get cold in a heartbeat. And this one, I got outside and I was like, oh, this is the perfect weather to run. Let's just do it now before it gets too hot.
Hey, I think another highlight, Lonnie, is I didn't whack you in the face with my wings, with my chink wings. That's a win.
Sarah had wings on. I told her next one when she does, I wanted to have the light up wings. So you had the regular ones this time. They had a lot of light up wings, a lot of glitter, a lot of people running with no shirts on for all three races.
Yeah, yes, I've looked at some of those social media accounts. So yeah. Sarah, I'll send you some pictures after.
There was a little girl in front of us running. I can't imagine how much it weighed. Like she had wings on, but it had a huge battery pack and it was lighted, but they were they were moving the whole race. I can't imagine how heavy that was, especially for how small she was. It looked really cool though. So good for her.
Yeah, flapping the wings. It was crazy.
That's awesome.
Interesting.
All right. So any other cool things that happened on the 5K?
We didn't die.
Well, that's always a plus.
That's good.
Yeah. All right. So 5K, you're finished pretty early because it starts at 5 a.m. and you're not going a cajillion miles. So you guys go back, get cleaned up, I'm assuming, or did you?
That was another not so fun transportation for me. And it was only that day, but the All-Star Resorts was a really long line. I stood in line to get on a bus over 30 minutes just to get onto the bus to get back to the race. And we weren't like, the buses were moving. It's not, I know on the 5K, a lot of times, like if you're early and you finish, they have to sit and wait to move. I think we got in line at like 6:40 or something like that. And I wasn't back to the resort. I think I was back to my room at like 7:36 or something like that.
Oh,
I was back at the resort when Sarah said she got on the bus. I was already back at my resort.
And it was they loaded it, and there was like a period of time of like 10 minutes that there was no bus, and we see every other bus number coming by except for one.
Wow.
So I don't know what the problem was, because the other days it wasn't like that. But we were headed to we were headed to Hollywood Studios. We were going to try to rope drop, but that then didn't happen quite. We didn't get there quite as early, but it still I think turned out pretty well. Pretty good morning. You have, I think, you have the list, Lonnie.
so Friday you all went to Hollywood Studios. Tell me
Yes.
what was the highlights of that day?
So the first thing, which was the biggest highlight, was just that I kind of turned over the planning stages to Sarah. I prefer to empower, and other people to make the correct choices, right? So I said, whatever you want to book, you go ahead and book it. Here's the login, here's all the stuff, you book it,
Here's my credit card. Here's my social security number.
Yeah,
I wish you came for mine. Yeah.
So I said, my goal is, just to ride everything. And,
Okay, so you guys got Genie Plus that day, it sounds like.
Well, yeah, I think Hollywood Studios to me, and you can argue Magic Kingdom, is the two that you have to get. You just literally have to get Genie Plus if you're gonna really conquer that park, because it fills up so fast. Now, luckily, when we got there, we still got there pretty early. We were able to rope drop riser resistance, so it wasn't even so. We were in the first group, so it was kind of backed up a bit. But once they opened up the queue and we filled in, we were able to go right to the front. There was no stopping right until we got to the staging area. So that was good. So we were able to get riser resistance. We didn't have to get a lightning lane for that. Our paid Genie lightning lane. We just rope dropped that.
Do you want to ask them how their experience was on Rise?
I mean, did you make it through did they stop it in the middle? Did they lead you off because it was broken? Did you get to walk through the back and see resistance and first, order, people smoking doobs together or what?
No, not the first time, but stay tuned.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, my expectation is it's going to break.
It did not. Well, this is the first one. So we were the first group to ride it, so it did not break. It was fully functional. Usually they break the third time on. So we did Rise, and then we did Smuggler's Run, and then we did Star Tours. So we knocked out.
Dude, you missed that part.
Oh yeah. What am I thinking? Sarah and I were the pilots. We crushed it. What did we get? We got, I can't remember, but we got a
You said it wasn't bad. Whatever, you're like, oh, that's pretty good. Whatever it was.
Did y'all do the hack?
No, we did not do the Chewy hack.
Yeah, I haven't had it work for me. So
we were kicking it. We made it happen.
Wait, didn't you guys try to do Chewy mode after we went? Yeah. To Tim's thing, we went. Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was in the room dying when y'all was up there doing that. So I was happy. So yeah, we did all the Star Wars before what? Before 9 o'clock? Before 9:30?
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and then we went to Star Tours as well.
Yep, and did Star Tours.
Okay, did you get the new scene or an old scene?
Yes. Got the new scene. Got the Ahsoka scene.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. See, there's one more thing to add to my list.
That someone did that you didn't?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So morning was Star Wars driven, and we did it.
That's awesome.
And then I think we went and did Lonnie's favorite part. Lonnie, was that your favorite part next?
The Ariel meet and greet? Yeah, we did Ariel. We went go meet Ariel, so we went to the back, hung out with her for a minute. She talked about us enjoying our human legs. And then we went do the Indiana Jones stunt spectacular. And
did she say, what do you call them? Oh yeah, legs.
Yeah, she was like the human legs. Enjoy your human legs. I was like, okay.
We are not. We was like, neither one of us really knew what to do. basically we were killing time, and my niece loves Ariel, so it was inside. I was like, let's just go get a picture so I can send it to my niece. And Lonnie was a good sport.
Yeah.
And I said, and I told Sarah, I said, I don't know if it was just you or not, but Ariel was just a little aggressive because she, usually I don't touch characters, but she put her hand in the small of my back, and I was like, I was like, whoa, Ariel, slow down.
Yeah.
I'm a married man.
Yeah, exactly. Slow down, Ariel. You don't want none of that smoke from my wife. So yeah.
No, she don't.
Jean knows she don't want none of that. So we did Ariel, and then we went to Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular, and we were in the second row, Sarah? First row, second row?
I think second, yeah.
I mean, it was a great view. So we were right there for that.
Wait, Jean, have you done that before?
I have.
Okay.
I have.
Yeah,
I've actually been a participant and gone, like, do they still they pull people from the audience? At one point they did, and I was a participant.
See, there's a bonus thing that you've done, Jean, that some of us have not.
That's why I'm an expert.
Okay, you are the expert. I forgot. Okay, Lonnie, so you went to Indiana Jones, then what?
So then we went on Tower of Terror. So this is when you turn it over to Sarah, because then she started with the lightning lane, right? So we Tower of Terrored it.
Wait. You didn't just Tower of Terror. Let's talk about Sarah's Tower of Terror. Why was this such a big deal, Sarah?
Because it was my first time going on that version of Tower of Terror.
Ever.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, Lonnie's been by my side. You guys were by my side when I did the Guardians version out in California for the first time. So it was fun. I feel like I don't know if it's like the build up, because the first one, I don't know. I haven't ridden them enough, but I felt like California seemed better to me. But I don't know if that's just because that was my very first time doing it. I don't know.
And I love the pin that you got. And you want to tell everybody about that real quick?
Yeah, so we went out and we went to look for the guest book and ask if we could see the guest book, which supposedly, according to the cast member we talked to that day, does not exist. There's not been one that people can look at for years and years and years, despite Jody just having seen it and signed it.
I sent Sarah the photographic proof that it happened. So
we believe you.
Yeah.
It's just
right.
Anyway, but while we were waiting in line, because there was somebody standing there talking to that cast member, there was like those celebration buttons that were just sitting out there. They had several of them that said, it's like where it says what you're celebrating, surviving the Tower of Terror 2024 button. And they had a little tape over it so it didn't smear. So me and Lonnie each grabbed one of those. So that was a fun little magical touch just by standing around that we got, since it was my first time writing it.
I'm excited for you. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, hey, Sarah, so help me out here. So you, our listeners, my fellow ducks, know that I'm an expert. And so not for me, but for anybody else, tell me more about this version of Tower of Terror. Why is it, how is this, tell me more about that. Explain that for us.
I mean, well, it's different theming. I think, didn't the California version used to be Tower of Terror and then they changed it to Guardians?
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Yeah. Okay. You're correct, ma'am.
So, I mean, it was just that different theming makes it different. I don't know enough about all the other stuff to know.
Okay.
Lonnie might have better to be able to explain the differences more. I felt like
obviously I know, but Lonnie, anything you want to add to it?
Well, no, I mean, the thing about the West Coast version is with the music, and if you're a Guardians fan and just being around that area, it's just really cool, right? It just is. Because, you go upstairs or you go downstairs, and downstairs has a different scene than upstairs, and the music is different, but it's still, it's just fun at Disneyland, right? So I love Tower of Terror, but I think the West Coast version, being Guardians, is a little better. But I could do Tower of Terror anyway, so this is how I roll. So I understand why Sarah's like, I like the other one a little better. And I know they're both the same in regards to a drop sequence, but it's the combination of the music, the videos, and all that kind of stuff that makes West Coast a little better. Is that fair, Sarah, to say, I think?
Yeah. I just couldn't talk about the mechanics of upstairs, downstairs. I didn't know all of that because I've only read.
Thanks for the color.
So we did that, and the good thing, what we did right after that, Gene, is coming off of Tower of Terror. A lot of people know Willie. He's a fan favorite. He's won multiple awards as a cast member. So we had an opportunity to do a little bit of a photo shoot with Willie. I mean, he has a kind of like a cult following, right? So people, I mean, you can look him up on Instagram. Like I said, has multiple awards he's won. So each person he takes time with, he poses them and all that kind of good stuff. So Willie, we had which would have been a 30-second pic with anybody else. We ended up in like 10 minutes there with Willie because he's being Willie.
That's cool.
He got Lonnie to laugh, so you know that. He got Lonnie. I don't know if he scared you, Lonnie. He had a face. I don't know.
Yeah, he did. He said he walked me through how to embrace the dark side and give a show. Yeah. So apparently he is a Sith Lord. So there you go. And then I will say this though: after we left our pics with Willie, Sarah introduced me to Mickey's Vacation Fund, the short film. Look, when we go back in our family vacation, I told Sarah, I said, hey, thanks for showing me this because I need to bring my grandson to watch it. It is a cute little Mickey cartoon. And then next door to it, there's props from the cartoon that you can take pictures in. Oh, so Sarah introduced me to Potato Land. I didn't know anything about Potato Land until I went to Mickey's Vacation Fund show.
My son has Potato Land shirt. We're big fans of Potato Land.
See? Sarah showed me something. I guess the point of the story is you can always learn something new. Old dogs can learn new tricks.
Even old dog, huh?
Well, and why did we go there, Lonnie? What was my thing for the trip? Or what was my motto for the trip?
Stay cool.
Yeah, air conditioning for the win.
There you go.
So yeah, it was, man, look, it was hot. It was hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else did you guys do?
Let's see here. After Potato Land and some pics there, we went to Slinky Dog.
Fun.
So did Slinky Dog. We had a lightning lane for that. And then we did Rise of Resistance, went back over there. And guess what, Gene? Guess what happened?
It didn't, not rise. Rise? Oh, it broke. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so we got all the way through the queue once again.
Like 20 minutes. Wasn't it like 20 minutes?
Yes, 20-minute wait. We got through to the end, and right before you board the shuttle to take off, shuttle didn't take off.
Yep.
Womp womp.
All those rides that are made, that Ratatouille, the Mickey one, that are basically the same ride, just the scenery is different. They all break.
Those dark rides those trackless rides do have a habit of breaking. So
there's a fatal flaw in them. Somebody needs to fix that.
Fatal flaw. That's strong words, Gene. But the good thing is they gave us a lightning lane to come back and ride it when it opened up. And then we went to your favorite, Jody, Muppet Vision 3D.
The Muppets.
Mm-hmm.
Did you look for the key under the mat?
Thanks to Sarah. Yes, she did. She said, looking for the key. With the key, we found it.
Fabulous.
They changed the seats in Muppet Vision, which was good as well. They needed some love, so they got some seat refurbishment. That was pretty cool.
Let's just be honest here. The seats need refurbishment. That show needs a little updating. I love
that show has. Oh gosh, that's the same show from, I think,
from when it was MGM Studios.
Yeah.
Exactly. Hasn't changed. Yeah. So it could use a little TLC, but
it was cool in there and had air conditioning. Sarah had a little bit of a mistake when she came out of Muppet Vision.
Oh yeah, like I did. Yeah, that tiredness catching up with you. I had my sunglasses and I had the 3D glasses, and I threw my sunglasses in there, walked out. When we got out in the sun, went to put my glasses on, and I was like, those are my 3D glasses. Those are my 3D glasses. Yeah. Not my sunglasses. So I had to go back and dig through. There were some really nice people there that helped me like pull the bag out and dump the bag out.
Oh, that's nice.
We got them back. Luckily, I noticed quick enough, but yeah.
Well, Lonnie, it wasn't you who left something behind this time.
It was not.
I made sure he kept track of his hat. Every ride, Lonnie, where's your hat?
Yep, she'll say, take your hat off. So, and then we went on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. and it went down like 2 scenes from the end.
No way.
And we sat in the car for a long time, right? So we're sitting there, and we had, I guess, a family in front. And when we got out, finally, because it, so when they started moving again, some people, some of the things weren't moving. I guess it was in the process of resetting. Um, the people that was in the car with us said that, hey, can we just go back on it again? And Sarah was like, hold on, let me see what they're gonna do. And they said, yeah, come on, we'll bring you through the back way, so you don't have to get back in line. So we were like, we just followed them along, and we went right again. And this time we went straight through. So
Very nice.
we actually rode it twice, basically.
So, yeah,
And
check
with
before
air
you go
conditioning.
down. Make sure to ask cast members, because I don't think they were giving out. Sometimes they'll give out, the like genies, and I don't think they were giving those out. So don't be afraid to ask.
All right. So that sounds like any other highlights from that day?
Well, yeah, because we went on Toy Story Mania. I don't like winning all the time. I just don't. Sarah was winning for how many different ones, Sarah? You were winning for what, 3? The first 3? But finally, it gets me. I was like, I just can't lose. So something clicked in me, right? It's kind of like you go into that zone. And I ended up, winning Toy Story Mania. I'm just saying what it is. And then, believe it or not, we were on Aliens, Swirling Saucers, just so we say we rode everything and knocked it out.
But did we get on that easily? Did we get on that easily?
That went down too. So they took us out of one line and put us in the Mater's Alien Saucers, because that's basically what it is. It's Mater's from the West Coast. It's over here. And we rode that because, we're committed. It was like, you know what? We just gonna make sure that we just ride everything in here so we can say we did all of Hollywood Studios. So we did that. On the way out, Rise was still down. So they were able to give us in our Rise Lightning Lane and move it to Epcot for any ride on the next day.
See, it's worth asking, right?
Mm-hmm.
We learned that in California.
And that was Hollywood Studios Day.
Awesome. Sounds like an awesome day. So hopefully you guys went to, your separate ways and went to your resorts and got some rest, I hope.
Yes, of course.
Got back at a decent time.
Okay. Well, that sounds like you did a ton. So it sounds like you were there for a long time.
Yeah.
One thing I forgot to ask, did you have any good meals that day, or did you just snack around, or?
No, we did. We had at the commissary. Right.
ABC commissary, solid.
Somebody put some money in my commissary. I had the buffalo chicken sandwich and fries. It's one of my favorites over there at the commissary.
Nice.
Sarah went on this whole time she went on a tangent to get the food that had the most stickiness and dirty hands. So what did you get, Sarah?
The fruit waffle from Magic Kingdom, and then I got shrimp tacos, and they were like shooting all their juices and sauces all over the place. It was delicious, but not not a clean meal.
And everyone washed their hands multiple times.
Oh yeah.
Hey, we got popcorn. What do we do, Lonnie, when we get popcorn?
We got popcorn. Sarah had a popcorn bag.
And dump it into a bag for Lonnie, and then I get popcorn and dump it into my own Ziploc bag.
Yes. There was no popcorn cross-contamination. And look, we did a lot of things, but we also kind of relaxed because we sit down and watch some baby ducks run around. We people watched, because that's the best thing about Disney, right? So we did that. It wasn't like a run. We took our time. All
right, good. So that night, go to bed because you got to wake up early for the next day, which is 10K day. So you've got 6.2, is that it? 6.2 miles to run. So tell me about Saturday morning and 10K day. What was the theme?
What is the adventure is out there? I think it was up themed. I think, is that what it was called, Lonnie?
Yep, the Adventure is Out There 10K.
Adventure is Out There 10K. So
which to me was the best medal, by the way, too.
So I have to give a shout out to our friends over at the Rise and Run podcast. I don't know if any of you saw Bob that day, but he was dressed as Carl from Up, and he was phenomenal. So I don't know if you all saw him during the race, but he was great. So good job, Bob. Okay, so what Did you guys see any good characters, or did you see any good costumes? How was that day?
Well, we met Doug and Russell before the races, like less than 30-minute wait. I get left on the first bus because I didn't want to get stuck at all the other all stars and get over there who knows what time. So as soon as I got in, I went right to and got in line for them, and Lonnie joined me shortly after. So we got them, and then still got out on top, like over 10 minutes spare to get to the lizard picture.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. It was a little bit warmer this day, but uneventful. Just it was a great race. It really was. A lot of characters.
Those are character meet day. I feel like
Yes.
that's where we met the most characters.
Okay, so who all did you meet?
Meet the Robinsons. I don't even know what's his name, Lonnie?
Bowler hat guy?
No. Gosh, Lewis. We met Lewis.
Got it.
So, I mean, but there are a lot of characters along the way. We just was like, you know what? We stopped for some, kept going for others. We kind of just did our thing.
That
Nice.
was the race that I accidentally slapped Lonnie in the face
Yeah.
on a jump shot.
I mean, I got abused that race. So, I couldn't stop. I can't get slapped and then turn around and stop and take pictures. I mean, I caught a shot to the eye.
You survived and you continue to do jump shots. So it's not that bad.
So
It wasn't that bad.
for those of you who don't know, popular thing to do and run Disney races are jump shots. I typically don't do them because I have a fear of falling and landing on my face. Plus, I'm a whopping 5'2" on a good day, so my jumps aren't very high. So I typically don't even try jump shots. You all did a couple of them, and in one of these photos, it looks like Sarah. Did you actually physically smack him in the face, or does it?
I did not feel it, but I didn't feel anything. But he said I did. So
my husband did it to me at our last race and at the half marathon that got cut short. So I've got a picture of him smacking me in the face. So you're just following tradition. It's great.
Lonnie, there's one picture.
We mastered that jump shot by the third photo. And I'm gonna tell you the crazy thing about this one is the photo pass guys were kind of like just stashed in places. It was no rhyme or reason, but
we didn't even see. We're like,
boom, you run up on one, they're there. You didn't have the big lights or nothing. And then you have one with lights and have some without. So it was kind of crazy. But the good course, you got a little bit of highway in it, but we went back through Epcot. It wasn't bad. It opened up a bit when it had that highway miles initially. So that was pretty good. It allowed it and it had a breeze that day, so it didn't get too hot during the race.
Oh, good. I thought it was quite warm. That's good to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And tip that we learned this race, maybe other people have known it, but before you come back into Epcot, like right by that bus station, they used to always have those bathrooms open. In the last couple of races I've run, I thought they've been closed because they have all the fences up and there's spectators there. But before you get to those fences, there's a little spot that there's like a rope, and the cast members will let you out. Will let you through to go run and then check your bib to let you back on the course. We did that for both the 10K and the 10 miler. The 10 miler, I was the only person in the bathroom. I want to say the 10K, there was 2 other people in there. The ladies' bathrooms, when you get into Epcot, the next couple are like lines out the door. So that was a win that we discovered because there was no line versus having to wait in really long lines for the ladies' bathrooms at Epcot.
That's a hot tip. I appreciate that one.
And then we crossed.
Lonnie got to cheer from the race course. He stood over on the side and cheered. He was a nice supporter.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. And then you get one of these, which was cool. And then this is the best thing about it.
So explain that for the audio.
It's the up house, and when you hit the button in the back, the balloons come out the back of the medal.
That's awesome. That's a pretty cool medal.
I think this is probably my favorite medal.
I like it.
Ever?
Not ever. But at least for this weekend it was.
All right.
Okay.
So you finished the 10K. Why don't you guys tell us about that day?
Bus situation was good once again, and this time I think they learned we went to Epcot.
Mm-hmm. And how was your experience getting into Epcot, Lonnie?
So my experience was not good whatsoever. They had the longest line, I think, ever for Epcot, even outside to try to get into Epcot. And once you get your security, had another long line to actually scan in to get in. So literally the line was so far back. It was just, I've never seen it like that before. And people were just saying, this is crazy. This is crazy. I said, yeah, it is crazy. But it is what it is. Because so some people, since everybody was in line, they thought it was something going on. They were actually walking, trying to go around the line, and then got to the front. And when they got to the front, they said, no, this is the line. You got to go back. So the line to get into Epcot was just crazy.
That's not fun.
But we had a friend that secured us a Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind boarding group, and we had boarding group 2. So by the time we got through that long line, Sarah was already in the park. She was hanging out. When I got in, we went to Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's how we started.
Awesome. So what song did you get?
Where's my conga?
Conga.
I was like, I have it written not on this page though. Yep.
Yeah. That may be my least favorite of them all, but it's still fun.
Wait, that what we got? Or do we get The Rhythm Is Gonna Get You?
I
I
don't
don't think that's a song.
I think we got Gloria. You got Conga the second time you went without me.
maybe.
next one.
That's why I said I don't have it written here. I have it somewhere else. I'll text you.
Yeah, I think we got Gloria Estefan. The Rhythm
Where's my?
Is Gonna Get You.
I don't think that's one of the choices, Lonnie.
No, I really believe I did get that.
Okay, I will go into. We have a notes tab for our family of Guardians that we write every single time, the date and the song we got. So hold on.
Wow.
See, that's right there.
We do that
I have
too.
conga written down, and it says Lonnie and Sarah. 420.
Okay, so we had Conga then.
Okay. All right.
That's close.
I mean, Gloria Estefan, Conga, they all the same.
Yeah, they kind of sound the same. Okay. So let's talk about your.
Nobody ever know I was wrong. I'm going to edit all that out.
Well, you get to do editing now, so you can edit it out. Okay, so let's talk about your Epcot day. Other than the amazing start of Guardians, what else did you guys do? Because
So,
the
coming
next
out
day
of
you had
Guardians-
the longest race, so you can't be too crazy.
No, coming out of Guardians, we met our other duck family, so we went and met John. He was waiting outside for us.
Awesome. That's fun.
Nice.
And then we went over to Test Track and hung out there.
Yeah. Did you?
Practical adjustment on that ride. It was very, very. That one I felt like was very jerky.
Very, very jerky. I don't remember it being that jerky.
How does it compare to Dinosaur jerky?
No, it's worse than Dinosaur. It was that bad, Gene. Seriously.
Really?
Yeah.
But I read it the next day, and it was not as bad as that. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal was that trip.
All right.
You got a
So
bad car, must be.
it was Flower and Garden Festival. Did you guys get any good eats at Flower and Garden?
Ha ha. Fish and chips. What?
Hey, you got a free Uncrustable. That counts, right? That was for Flower and Garden that they give
Yeah,
away
I got the Korean sticky
on
ribs.
Saturday and Sundays.
They were good.
Nice.
But the whole day I was like, Sarah, I don't want to try to impose what I want, but I need some fish and chips.
Mhm.
So if you want to stop and get something, you can, but I'm gonna get this fish and chips.
Sweet.
And they were great. They were hot. We did get harassed by some birds, but
And
I
you're
don't
doing
blame them. Birds like fish. They saw the fish and chips. It's just
gonna happen.
I can't fault them.
Okay, what else did you guys do?
I'm just gonna read it off and just for time. We did the Figment ride. Then we met Joy, and then we met Figment for the meet and greet. Dreamfinder was there. They did this whole little thing that was really, really cool. Sarah, you want to talk about that?
Well, so it was Dapper Days. So all the people, which is like where people dress like very, very elaborately. Very impressed.
Do they wear spats?
Yeah, he had spats on.
Yeah.
I
I figure if you're going to dress up, you got to wear spats.
I don't know how those women walk in those heels in a theme park. No way. No, thank you. Not
And
gonna
it
happen.
was 90 degrees, and they had on 3-piece suits.
Really?
Bless them.
But anyway, so yes, one of the people that was there was dressed as Dreamfinder and was, so when Figment went on his break and then he came back out, Dreamfinder was the first one waiting to meet him. And it was like that was a very long experience, but because Figment was so excited to see him, very cute interaction. And then when Dreamfinder left, Figment like followed him, like, and was like pressing himself against the window and like waving and didn't want him to go. So that was like it took longer, but it was an added little entertainment perk that was really cute to see Figment so excited about Dreamfinder.
That is cute.
Yeah.
I love that.
And then we took our pictures with Figment. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know what it was. It started with Ariel, and continued with Figment. But Figment really got really close. He grabbed me and he whispered in my ear, "Let the magic happen."
You know what it was? He said, "I know you're friends with Kevin."
He did, and he just said, "Let the magic happen." And I'm like, "Okay, Figment, this is kind of odd, So yeah, but I got over it because we went upstairs to the DVC lounge after that, hung out there for a while, relaxed,
Because Sarah's theme was air conditioning.
Air conditioning.
Mhm.
If we were in the taller seats, I think we both would have been asleep. But we were in the shorter seats that didn't have a place for us to rest our head.
Yeah, but it was still so comfortable up there. I mean, the air conditioner was pumping, the vitamin water was flowing. It was pretty cool up there. Snacks were having. I mean, it was great. So did that.
All that place needs is a bathroom.
Oh yeah.
Just big fail, but
Mhm.
I still love everything else about it.
And then let's see. I'm gonna read off the next things we did. We left there. We went to go get a free Uncrustable. They were giving those out for Flower and Garden.
Wait. If it's free, what is? I mean, so if what you're saying about free, Lonnie?
If it's free, I want 3.
Okay.
I didn't get a free Uncrustable when I was there.
Oh well.
Is that just a DVC thing? I don't.
Sarah,
I've
because
never.
Sarah, the
That's
one who
not
told
something I've
me.
experienced.
She was like, "Hey, they're giving away some free Uncrustables." I read online. She said, "Let's go get some." Just because. I mean, you're at Disney. I wasn't even hungry, but you know what? It's free, and I'm paid so much to be at Disney, so I want it.
Where
Was it shaped like Mickey?
No, regular Uncrustable.
So
Where was
yes,
this?
during Flower and Garden on Saturday and Sunday at noon. It's by the PB&J Garden, but basically it's kind of behind Spaceship Earth as you're walking that pathway as you're walking to like World Showcase. So if you're walking from the entrance of Spaceship Earth towards World Showcase, it's on your left.
Got it.
PB&J Garden. And there it is.
Nice.
Interesting.
And then we went get the fish and chips. That was our lunch. So got fish and chips. Then we went hang out and listen to the sounds of Liberty. Because what? Air conditioning. Cool.
And seats.
And then we went ride Remy.
And
It broke.
It was not great.
No, it was broken though. So we thought we were getting in a short line. No, an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah. It was supposed to be.
You stayed in line thinking it was gonna get fixed, and it did. So I've done that before and got burned.
No, it was all the lightning lane people. The lightning lane was like literally out the door past the fountain.
But
So we're already in line. Surely it will get better.
And Sarah met her nemesis, who was in front of us.
She was driving me nuts. She was on her 6th or 7th alcoholic drink, and let's just say it was showing.
That's
so special
people.
And then we used our lightning lane to go ride Frozen.
Smart choice.
And that was it.
Nice.
So we got the ones we wanted. We got Guardians, we got Test Track, we got Remy, and we got Frozen. I mean, so we got the biggest ones there.
Yeah, nice. And you got your fish and chips.
And we got our fish and chips, and we got the sticky wing ribs. And we got 2 things of popcorn. And that popcorn, I ate it that night. And let me say, I have no regrets.
All right. So that was Saturday, and you went to bed early because the next day is the last and final race of the race weekend, which is the 10-miler. Again, we've said that's the only race weekend that has a 10-miler. Everything else typically has a half. So this was exciting. So what was the theme for the 10-miler?
Hakuna Matata 10-miler.
Okay. And the challenge was called what?
Stitches Ohana.
Ohana challenge.
Okay. So you probably had some Lion King representation and some Lilo and Stitch representation. So you have a little bit of tropics and a little bit of Africa safari. That goes together. Great.
Yeah. And they played a lot of, the soundtrack was really, really good. Like, so, it was a lot of, as you're running through, we heard a lot of the Moana soundtrack, which was pretty neat.
You heard Moana. Okay.
I guess, Hawaiian.
Remember how Marathon Weekend.
You're welcome.
I mean, what else we heard? I don't think Lonnie did because he doesn't know this. But what else I heard like 200 times was High School Musical. It was like, why are we
High School
playing?
Musical, the musical, the musical.
I guess it could have been the updated version. I don't know. I was like, why are we playing High School Musical nonstop?
And I asked Sarah, how do you know this?
Because and it was that was when the first High School Musical came out. I was the target audience.
Yeah, it does. And then she told me, she was like, I mean, I'm 30. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah.
All right, so tell us what were some cool costumes that you saw on 10 Miler Day?
Oh, bunch of stitches all over the place. That Lion King, some guy he mentioned they interviewed him. He woke up at like, I forgot that. Why would he say 4 or 5 hours it took him? But it was
I think they did it before he left, and it was like his body was painted like the Tree of Life.
He was painted the Tree of Life.
I heard about him on the 321 Go podcast today. His name is Mike something, and I followed him on Instagram today just so I could see. It's not henna, but like henna-ish.
Yes.
His entire body was the Tree of Life. It was unbelievable.
He had a huge branch that he had on his head, so it was fantastic. And I'm gonna tell you something. One thing I think, and of course, love the race announcers, right? And we can talk about that. The 10 miler, I mean, at the end of not the 10 miler, but at the end of the 10K, we actually took pictures with all of the announcers.
So Carissa and John and Riley and
John actually ran the 10 miler.
Right? No, he ran the 10K.
10K, I mean. He ran the 10K, 10 miler. I mean, it's all running. I hate running, so it makes no difference to me. But we got a chance to stop and talk to them. So before crossing the finish line, we had a couple of minutes to our time because they actually sit there and talk to us. So we talked to them. I got a call out. Clarissa gave me a call out that I was like, now I can go. Now I can cross this finish line.
Perfect.
So
any good characters?
But you know what? They had Doug, they had Russell, they had a bunch of characters actually.
Like Bruno and
you don't talk about him. You can't talk about him.
No. Here's the whole list of them written out. So there was a lot of them.
Wow, that is quite a lot.
Go ahead, Sarah. Knock out the biggest ones off your list.
Yeah, tell us.
Well, I know we stopped at. I know we got Powerline Max.
Yes.
And we got who else? Who else did we stop at? We stopped at one. We did that whole thing where you have somebody fast running and then you catch up to them, and it's
So Vanessa,
yes, it was awesome.
Member of the Lizard. She's a Lizard. She's also a member of our Facebook group. She was the bunny, so she would run ahead, get in line, and as we were running by, she'd say, "Hey, come on!" And we just get in there and take a picture with her. So she had a list of the characters. And she knew where she was going, and she went. We thought about stopping for Barbosa and Captain Jack. They were there together. They were in line. But we're like, you know what? We're going to finish this. I'm going to try to get on an earlier flight. In hindsight, knowing what I've known, I would probably stop. And probably would have stopped the whole time and not go anywhere. But
Vader, you would have stopped at Vader and back in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah, they had Vader there.
Line was long.
I'll tell you, the line for Vader. And look, so for the 10 miler, as you guys who know the history of Run Disney, this is the race weekend that started me and Gene. In 2016, this was the Star Wars Dark Side. It was the inaugural Star Wars Dark Side was this weekend. And after 5 years, they changed it to the Springtime Surprise. And this is what, the 4th year of the Springtime, or 3rd year or something like that. But so they had a group of people that still would dress as Star Wars because from this day, they're like, it started as Star Wars. It's always Star Wars, right? Yeah. It's like bring back Star Wars.
Mama named him Cassius. I'm going to call him Cassius.
Mama named him Cassius. We're going to call him Cassius. And just like when we were running in Disneyland, it was they had people on the side with signs that said bring back Star Wars and had people dressed as stormtroopers. Same thing. So Darth Vader was here as a photo stop. He had the longest line. So I think people just like, yeah, we got to.
Oh, that's awesome.
So my hope is that
Disney give the people what they want. Jeez.
That's what I'm saying, Gene. My hope is that they bring it back next year. Just do a Star Wars run. And you know what?
Okay, question. Hold on. Question for you, Lonnie.
Yes.
If they brought it back to California only, would you go?
Yes. For Star Wars, absolutely.
What if it was Marvel? What if it was a Marvel race?
I'll go for a Marvel race too.
Okay. You heard it here first, people. You heard it here first.
But if it's another double dare, I'm not going. Star Wars, I'm going. Marvel, I'm going.
All right. All right. All right. So we're going to try to wrap this up because we're going a little long. So you had an awesome 10 miler. Sarah, you can maybe when we post the show, you can tell us about the characters that were out because it sounds like that list looked pretty long. So any other highlights you want to tell us about that evening or that morning? I mean, sorry, that was definitely the morning.
We got to hang out a little bit with Bob from Rise and Run out on the course and talk to him. He wasn't dressed in anything fun that day, just had his Rise and Run shirt on, but he's a cool dude.
Yeah, so we ran with Bob for a minute. That was pretty good.
There was a cornhole game out on the course. I don't know
Really?
how that was. They had cornhole that you could play.
Yeah,
I mean, some people want to ride a ride. Some people want to play some cornhole.
Dipti and I played cornhole. We did that on the marathon, and the person who does that is John Pelkey's wife, and her name is Jody. So now
that's what it was out there. Okay, so yeah, we saw her.
Did the cornhole is John Pelkey.
So see, we got a character stop picture there. I think Lonnie. I think you took a selfie there.
Cool.
You did.
All right. So you guys, any transportation? So you finished the 10 miler, did all your awesome photos. I'm assuming at the end that we did it, photos and all that stuff. Any problems with the buses this time?
Not at all.
Okay, good. And so Lonnie, you went back to your resort and please tell me you showered before you left for the airport.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you didn't shower after every race, you had a problem because it was hot. It still was very humid. In fact, for this 10 miler, we had to swim half of it because the humidity was out there for the second half.
There was a lot of people down on the course, or like
really.
In fact, we were running, and right in front of us, we were. I don't know if you heard on social media. Everybody was asking about the lady that fell. She fell right in front of us, so we saw her there, and we ran by her, and we kind of because everybody started yelling, stop, get to the right, and she was there and they were yelling for the medics and the medics came over and, Sarah can tell you because she was actually closer than I was because we were there, but I was like on the opposite side of Sarah trying to tell people to move to the side. So she saw him actually trying to give her aid, but I mean, she was knocked out.
Yeah, I would say they flipped her over, arms limp, blood, but like complete. Wow. That's not good because she's completely out of it, completely limp.
We saw a lot of that when we did our Marine Corps marathon race in DC because it was so blasted hot.
I mean, so luckily, I think it's the best place that could happen because it was literally right across from the med tent was right there. So they just had to get the med team across.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, that's the place, right?
Yeah. Oh,
and you heard that you actually heard her hitting.
Oh man,
it was
bad. So sad.
Yeah.
Oh, hopefully she's okay. So our thoughts are with her. All right. So so you guys depart there. So Sarah, you went back to your resort. Lonnie, you went back and you went then straight to the airport, I'm guessing, after you
after I showered and everything, I went straight to the airport. Okay. I got an Uber from the airport, was there, no time.
All right. And then Sarah, you had the whole day to hang out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
So, yeah, I took a little nap in the room. And then I went to Epcot. I had gotten a virtual queue for Guardian, so I read that. I did Soaring. I took some pictures. I got another free Uncrustable because again, free in Disney is.
You want three.
Always a good thing. I did Test Track Single Rider because Guardians, my number kept getting pushed back. And I went over there and sat and it should be any time. The line for the virtual queue, after you scan, you go through that little switchback and then go inside. And it was lined up through the switchback, to the touch point. And I was like, oh, we're not getting any time soon. So I went over and did Test Track Single Rider line. And then when I came back, my number was called and it was a lot. It had died down. It was more of a normal wait because I don't think most of the time when I scan in, you have a wait, but you're not outside waiting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. What song did you get that time?
I Ran.
Oh, good. I like that one.
Good song.
That's perfect for after running.
I was like, that's appropriate. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Sarah, you hung out at Epcot I don't think you hung out at Epcot the entire day. I actually think I've seen video of you not being at Epcot the entire day. So What did you do?
So yeah, then I headed over to Magic Kingdom and did some stuff over there, and then met up with John and Dee, and they were nice enough we went to guest services. They had a firework dessert party booked, but the party was already sold out. But we went and talked to guest services, and they were able to add me onto theirs since it's easier sometimes, they said, to add on than make a separate reservation. So I got to do that, and then we hung out with them and took some pictures, got pixie dusted, because that's always fun.
Yeah.
And I know you had made a warning that there is glitter everywhere in it. I didn't wash my hair that night and before I got on the plane, because I was like, I'm gonna wash my hair after I take a plane anyway. I slept on the plane. When I woke up, like there's glitter all over the. I was like,
I really hope that the person
it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, I hope it was like a serious, cranky businessman who was, the one who was like going to close a business or something terrible, and he had to sit on that and it had glitter all over him, and he sparkled. And I hope it brought,
like it just cracked me up. Yeah, I was like, it literally is sticking around. Okay, there could be worse things, right? There could be worse things than glitter.
Yeah.
So we did that, and then Columbia Harbor House. And then after that, we were walking to Big Thunder and walking through Frontierland, and there was just like cast members out dancing, and then characters joined them in dancing, which we've never seen. It's called the Frontier Hoedown, and just randomly walked up on that. And I guess it's done a couple times throughout the day, but it's never the same time. Or not, I would say never, but it's not a consistent time of day. So that was just something to see.
Jean, you can add this to the list of something I've never done before. So you can add a column that says things that Jean's never done before. You can make a column of things Jody's never done before. I've never seen this.
Frontier Hoedown.
You never saw the hoedown?
I've never seen the Frontier Hoedown. It was cute. I saw the video with Chip and Dale dancing. I mean, that was.
And I think Clarabelle and one of the
country bear, one of the country bears. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very cute.
Yeah. And then we got on Big Thunder, and there was pretty much any lightning, or not genie, like you could get almost any ride you wanted. So we did that. And then we got on Pirate, like as soon as we got in, we immediately got one for Pirates. Went on Pirates. As soon as we got on Pirates, I booked one for Space Mountain. Was able to go get on Space Mountain.
Nice.
While they got on Tron, because they had bought Tron earlier in the day. So we were able to just boom, boom, boom. Then did the firework dessert party, which was awesome. A lot of good food. Again, sitting down, and not necessarily air conditioning, but they have fans and it's a cool area and sitting down. And we probably left that little dessert party area to go out to the blocked off area that they have for the dessert party, like 25 minutes before. And it looked like a lot of people sitting, but as soon as they made everybody stand up, it was like really empty. We probably didn't have anybody within 10, 15 feet of us in that area. So great view of the fireworks, not being shoulder to shoulder with people, having people climb on top of your back is always a win. Yeah. And then after that, they decided to leave. I had a couple more. Well, I had Jungle Cruise booked for a little bit later. So I was like, well, let's see what else I can get until Jungle Cruise. So I was able to book one for Peter Pan right after the fireworks. After I got off Peter Pan, I was walking towards Haunted Mansion. There's sprinklers on top of the roof, I guess, after the fireworks, and they were spraying off and hit me. But I was like, hey, that's okay. It felt really good because it was hot outside. I was like, that was a new one too. Haven't been hit by sprinklers.
Never have I. Add that to the list, Jean. I've never been hit by a sprinkler.
So we got Jody. You missing out. You missing out on hold downs. You missing out on sprinklers. You missing out on some things.
I know. You saw some things.
A lot of fun. So yeah, Haunted Mansion. Then I got on Jungle Cruise, and then I went and got on Buzz. I was gonna try to sneak on to Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, because a lot of times right at the end of the night that line drops down. But when I walked by, it was still longer than I wanted to wait. I was thinking probably at least a 45-minute wait, and I was like, I don't feel like waiting that long. A lot of times you can get on less than a 20-minute wait,
especially after the fireworks. So I'm surprised they had a long line like that.
Mm-hmm. And on a Sunday night. And
on a Sunday night.
I mean, I don't know that for sure, but we've done it enough at the very end of the night that I'm like, I kind of had a generalized idea of where I thought it was going to be. So then I was walking by the carousel and they were about to start. So I was like, I'm gonna get on the carousel because I haven't done the carousel in a really long time. But when I was on that, Cinderella came out and was interacting with everybody and taking pictures. And I didn't see where she went. She walked towards the castle and I don't know where she went. But I was like,
It was midnight. She had to probably get back. I mean, it's getting close to midnight.
Like I just haven't seen them wander. I haven't seen
Sure.
characters wander like that as much at Disney World. So yeah, and then I got back on the bus and went back to the resort.
Disneyland, she's free range. She's just ranging around. She's just rolling.
She's got the organic free range stamp on her.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But at Disney World, she got to have a handler. She's caged.
Well, what a trip. I mean, you guys both sound like it was a. So would you recommend Springtime Surprise, both of you? Either of you? Would you well, Sarah, this is your third time doing it. So
It's a different vibe, but I love it. I love the 10 miler. I love that distance. So I mean, I'm gonna plan on doing it again next year, and I think it's just a fun time of year for me work wise. It's kind of right before school ends, so it's like one more thing to look forward to before school gets crazy. So I like it. It's a different weekend. I feel like it's a little bit calmer weekend than like marathon weekend. So it's got a different vibe, but I really like it.
Nice. What about you, Lonnie?
Yeah, this is my second springtime. I did the inaugural. One thing I wish they would bring back is for the inaugural, and Sarah, we talked about this a little bit. They had the 5K at night, right, on a Thursday night, and then Friday you had no race, and then Saturday and Sunday you had your 10K and your 10 miler. I wish they would do something like that. I love the idea that you mentioned about Star Wars coming. I think it'd be great for Star Wars. You can have like a dark side 5K at night. Would be pretty good. The dark side 5K, yeah. But yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna do it again. But it's let's see what the themes are. But
They
yeah,
were good themes this year. They were really good.
I'm sorry.
I said they were very good themes this year.
Very good themes, and the 10 mile is a perfect distance because it's not 13, and if I can run a little bit less, I'm happy. But I mean, we were making phenomenal time. I think we were at mile 5. At one point, we said we got to slow down because we were just killing it out there.
That's awesome.
So yeah, 10 miler, sign me up. I don't know why I say sign me up. I hate running.
Well, I know as you say you run, I was like, did we run? Did we though?
Well, sounds like it was a wonderful weekend, and I'm glad that you had the opportunity to tell us a little bit about it. So thank you very much. And now we're going to go to the favorite part of everyone's show time. It is time to quack up with the ducks.
Sure, I can go.
Okay.
It's not really a joke, but did you hear what happened and why the student driver failed his driver's test?
Why?
He thought it was a crash course.
I'll do it.
All right. Yeah. So I was telling Jean yesterday that I've been, getting the garden and the yard ready because it's springtime. And I went to the nursery and I really had all the supplies that I needed, but man, it was a lot to weed through. All right, Sarah, go ahead.
Hey.
Oh.
Go ahead, Sarah. Go ahead, Sarah.
I mean, mine's not that great. Why shouldn't Simba trust Scar?
I don't know why.
I don't know.
He's always lying.
Good one.
That is a good one. On point too for the race. Good job. All right, Mean Gene.
Yeah. So I don't know. Have you guys checked out that show Shogun on Hulu? It's really good, and I listened to the companion podcast, and they really worked hard to just be, as far as the time period, authentic with all the props and the costumes. But I'm really upset because they really missed something. They put the shoes on. There's some ninjas at one point, assassins. And if you looked at their shoes, they have. It's a mistake. I mean, they put those shoes that where the toes are separated, and people think that's what's authentic. But you know what ninjas really, what kind of shoes they really wore? Sneakers.
Yeah. They sure did.
Yes. Yeah, it was. I mean, if you can get through the setup, It was all.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us this evening, and thank you, Sarah, for joining us.
Sarah, thank you for putting up with us. I don't know why. I don't know what we did
What did you do?
that that makes Sarah put up with us, because she comes back. This is not her first time on the show, so I'm surprised she's not tired of us yet and just like, I can't deal with it.
Yeah.
So thank you, Sarah, for your patience.
Thank you, Sarah. All right, Jean.
Now that we've journeyed through Sarah and Lonnie's recaps of the Disney World Hakuna Matata Springtime Surprise Race Weekend, let's reflect on the whimsical ride with a touch of humor. Sarah's recap: if you're still buzzing with excitement and a newfound love for running after Sarah's adrenaline-packed recounting of her race triumphs, congratulations. You've caught the Disney racing bug. Side effects may include signing up for every future Disney race and decking out in themed costumes. Lonnie's recap: for those who can't stop laughing or cringing sympathetically at Lonnie's hilarious mishaps and wrong turns during the race, don't worry. His journey may not have been smooth, but it sure provided endless entertainment. Caution: excessive laughter may lead to ab soreness and a desire to hear more of Lonnie's adventures. Side effects may include a deep appreciation for Sarah's racing prowess, an eagerness to avoid Lonnie's race strategies, and a general sense of awe at the magical chaos that is a Disney race weekend. As we conclude Sarah and Lonnie's race weekend tales, remember that every stride, stumble, and Disney character encounter adds to the enchantment of the journey. Until our next adventure, keep smiling, keep running, and keep believing in the magic of Disney dreams.
Thank you, friends.
Deuces.
Bye.